Hello friends, it's Isa. Welcome back if you are returning. So we're doing a collective reading today. I am at the park. I wanted to connect with the trees and with Mother Gaia and get some messages for you guys. So I do want to note, I brought 2 decks with me when I was leaving my place. Oh, that's so funny. I just cut it on the same card that I was just about to talk about. So when I was leaving my place, I opened this deck to take it out of its box and put it in a smaller pouch that is easier to carry. And the card Fog came out. It says obscurity and feeling lost. Okay, and there are quite a few pine trees on this card, which is interesting because I automatically felt drawn towards the trees. So it's interesting that that card fell out. And when I pulled out the deck, when I started my audio and started shuffling to get the cards, or the deck, pardon me, ready, or I guess I could have said the cards too, whatever, to get the deck ready, the same card came out and I cut it on the same card 2 seconds ago. So I feel like a lot of you could be feeling lost and unsure of what your path is, okay? So this is not, I have to stop shuffling for a second. This is not something that is easy to figure out per se, okay? If you are feeling lost, if you are really, wanting to find that vocation, it is so important to do that soul searching. I know that sounds so broad. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to give you guys, I'm going to let whatever comes out come out, whatever my higher self wants to tell you guys, and whatever spirit guides me to tell you guys about finding your person, your purpose, your person. That's interesting that I said that. That was a Freudian slip, okay? So some of you guys could be looking for your person and you're feeling this longing energy of, when will I finally meet the one? Okay, so I feel that it's very important to say that in order to meet the one, we must first fall in love with ourselves, right? We have to fall in love with who we are and life and our mission in order to find that person. I truly believe this. I believe that we find the one when we are ready, and Spirit does an amazing job at creating that moment if you surrender and put your trust in Spirit. Okay, so going back to finding your mission, I think it's really important to start off with what you liked to do when you were younger. Okay, I'm going to use myself as an example to kind of explain to you guys what I mean. When I was a kid, I loved playing pretend. I loved being out in nature. I loved talking to the trees, okay? This is exactly what I do now. So it's really about finding those things that you couldn't go a day without doing when you were younger and reshaping it in a way that your adult self will find joy within it, okay? Another tip that I have is looking into your life path number. So again, to use myself as an example, I am a life path 7, okay? That is all about knowledge, and that again fits. So these things, these little hints, and even the birth chart, right? They tell us so much about ourselves, and a lot of it is undiscovered. It is within our spirit, but if we don't explore that, we can't find it, right? So I would really recommend going back to the things that you loved doing when you were little. I was also obsessed with Halloween Town, okay? I loved Marnie. She was my role model. I wanted to be her. I wanted to fly on a broomstick. Like, that was my goal. That movie was my absolute shit. Okay, guys, I freaking loved it. And again, it goes to show just the things that I like and the things that I'm into. So it really checks out with what I am aligning myself with in my career and for my vocation, okay? Now, I do also want to note that not everybody is going to want to make their hobbies like this their vocation, and that's okay too, right? You're going to have to find what works for you and what doesn't, but ultimately you're going to want to be doing something that you love and that you are meant to do. This is where I think the life path number really comes in handy, because it tells us a lot about ourselves. Numerology is amazing. I would also look into, I think it's soul urge number and heart number, I think. I'm not sure. There are a few others. I would look into that, guys, and really do some research. Don't be afraid to get your hands a little dirty, okay? Maybe that's literally too. Maybe you guys need to go out in nature and just play with some dirt or ground, like run around in the dirt, okay? I was seeing in that card there was a lot of pine trees. Often when we're feeling very clouded and stressed out, being out in nature helps tremendously with that. Spend most of your time outside if you can. When you are not at school, when you are not at work, go outside. Spend time in nature as opposed to in your room, okay? Really allow for your spirit to connect with the earth. In connecting with the earth, you will connect with yourself, with your higher self, and with your inner child, and you will start to figure out the things that you love to do, the things that make you happy. Let's say that you loved making up stories when you were a kid, writing poetry. Maybe you were meant to write in some way, whether that's for a magazine, for yourself, to be an author, okay? To write for another publication, which I guess could count as a magazine, but it could really be anything. Follow the trail and trust yourself that you will be able to come into this knowing, because this knowing is dormant within you. All you have to do is awaken it. But again, you might need to take your inner child by the hand and let them lead the way. There was a lot of noise in the background, so I had to stop, but I've been shuffling this whole time. Oh, okay, we have one that wanted to pop over. Tend, maintenance, encouragement, and guidance. Okay, this has been coming out quite a bit, the word guidance. Okay, we have fog at the bottom. Again, obscurity and feeling lost. So I'm hearing that some of you guys could benefit greatly from therapy, okay? If you are finding it hard to do this work on your own, to deep dive on your own into the subconscious, into the healing, it might be beneficial to ask, that was a confirmation, it might be beneficial to ask for help from an outside source, okay? There's nothing wrong with asking for help or even wanting to ask for help. Sometimes we don't know what to do, right? You would not know what to do unless you studied psychology or you were a professional in this field. This is why we have professionals in these fields to help us, to point us in the right direction. But again, they can help us identify the symptoms, they can help us identify the triggers, but that root cause, that is going to be up to us to discover. And this is what I feel needs to happen in order for you to come into your purpose, okay? This is a really big one. We need to open up our hearts and come into unconditional love in order to come into this energy. So with this tend, this is literally also talking about the roots, right? Because I am seeing a few gardening tools on here, so it is really tending to the soil. If we do not have a firm foundation, anything that we build on top of that will crumble. So we're going to keep going through tower moments that does destroy our foundation and wipes the slate clean in order for us to rebuild on more solid ground. Okay, we do have harvest. Wow, so the way that these cards are coming out is insane. We also have mushroom, recycling, breaking down problems. Okay, mushrooms are considered a fungus. Okay, so this is going through all of the not so nice stuff, all of the things that we would consider negative, bad, and looking at it objectively in order to transmute it. See it from a psychologist's point of view. Really challenge yourselves to look at what is going on a subconscious level. It's so much deeper than we think it is, okay? And once we do that, once we train ourselves to do that, it gets so much easier to move through things, and we become better at solving the puzzle or putting the pieces of the puzzle together, okay? And once we do this, once we allow ourselves to move through the seasons of our soul and we work with our higher selves in order to let go and in order to release, we will reap what we sow, okay? And this card has so much abundance. It's like a cornucopia of abundance, okay? And harvest says determination and hard work. Through staying disciplined and healing yourself, not giving up on yourself or the journey, you teach yourself to stay committed not only to yourself, but to your life. So you will absolutely start to see your manifestations coming in. you will see yourself come into your purpose. But you do have to take it step by step, okay? It is a journey, and I know it's easy to want to be there now. I am so impatient. I needed to learn patience. I just cut it on roots. It says healthy patterns, early growth, okay? And I love this message because the more eager we are to do the work, the more we are willing to do the work, the faster those manifestations do come in, right? But what I wanted to say before is that patience was a big one for me to learn. I'm still learning it to honor the seasons of my soul and to honor myself through those seasons and every state that I am in, every emotion that I feel. It's not easy to do. It's so easy to feel lost. But in the moments where we feel lost, those moments, they appear in order for us to rediscover our faith. I truly believe that having that faith in higher power is the most important key. That is the missing piece of the puzzle for a lot of people. Whether that higher power is nature, whether it's spirit, okay? I do believe that nature is the most beautiful representation of spirit, but there needs to be something there. Otherwise, we will get lost. It's so much easier to surrender to that higher power. Just imagine it for a second, guys. Imagine how much better it's going to be when you surrender control and you allow spirit to show you the way. Just ask for help. A lot of people don't want to ask for help because, again, there's shame in that. If you feel shame in asking for help in another person, ask God, Spirit, Creator, Gaia, whoever you venerate and respect. Ask them for help because they're here to help us. They want to help us, and we do not have to do it alone. Again, when we are most lost, this is when we find ourselves, but we have to be willing to get lost. You know, a lot of the times I'm being taken to driving through a very foggy scenery. A lot of people would pull over because it's not safe. A card just flew right out when I said that. Sage, wisdom, purification, and harmony. Okay, what I wanted to say was a lot of people would pull over because it doesn't feel safe, but you can slow down and you can be careful and you can still keep going as long as you're paying attention to your surroundings and you're not jumping the gun, okay? You can still move forward through the fog and there will be brighter days ahead. But you need to be willing to move through it. You can't stop. You can't pull over. You can't back down either. You need to stay committed. Stay committed to feeling lost because it's going to happen many times on your journey. Many times, even when you feel like you've found the way, you're going to go through moments where Spirit is going to shake shit up for you. And again, it's going to be for your highest good, to redirect you, to realign you. So trust where you... Oh my gosh, that scared me. Confirmation though. Trust where you are being guided. Ask your inner child to show you what you need to know. Ask your higher self to show you what you need to know. And ask your guides to stand by your side while you put those pieces of the puzzle together. You guys really need to take the lead on your healing because the longer you procrastinate it, the longer it will take to come into your purpose, into your mission, whatever that is for you. There may still be some things that you're needing to clear away in order to come into this knowing. Okay, so the card at the bottom is soil, stability, and simplicity. So simplifying, getting back to the basics, identifying what's yours, what are your ancestors, especially dreams, okay? I'm hearing especially dreams. What dreams have your parents, grandparents, ancestors enforced on you that you are doing that you do not want to be doing? Be so honest with yourself, okay? Under this, we have trunk, stability, loyalty, and reliability. Guys, this is beautiful. Okay, beautiful. I love how these cards are really tying into each other, okay? There is an owl on the inside of this trunk as well. So tuning into or tapping into your wisdom. And again, the more we heal, the more we're going to be able to hear that wisdom. So it really is about the foundation. Focus on your foundation energetically, mentally, spiritually, and physically. You guys are supported during this time and Spirit has your back, okay? Trust yourselves and trust where you are being guided. I'm going to say it again. Embrace the unknown and embrace not knowing. Take it day by day and work with what you have. Work with what your psyche is presenting you. Work with what your spirit is presenting you. You will find the way, okay? So, oh, this is so interesting. I pulled out another oracle deck that I brought with me because I wanted to pull a card from here and close out with that. And we have a card that is left behind, and it was attached, like it was from the other deck that I was just using, and it was attached to this one. And guys, it says Basil, prosperity, luck, and love. Remember at the beginning when I channeled person instead of purpose. So it's coming back full circle. You need to find that prosperity, that love within yourself in order to prosper with another, in order to love another selflessly and unconditionally. This takes a lot of work, but it's not impossible, okay? So this is really beautiful. This is so beautiful. I'm gonna get a card. The part about feeling lost is not beautiful, okay? I don't want you guys to take that the wrong way. I do look for the beauty in everything, though. I challenge myself to see the beauty in everything, even in the moments of feeling lost, because again, in those moments, they push us to find ourselves, and that strength that we cultivate in those moments, that is so beautiful. It is so beautiful. So I'm going to pull a card for you guys. I'm going to let one flip out. Okay. All right, we have mugwort. And that is very fitting because that is a lunar herb. They belong to the moon, okay? Artemisia family. So this is an amazing herb for the dreamscape, to work with our subconscious as well. If you don't want to work with it physically, I would recommend working with her spirit, okay? I made a mugwort poppet because I tried to drink the tea so many times and I can't do it. I cannot do it. I love her so much, but please, God, no, do not make me drink that tea. I had to make a poppet, and I put him under my pillow whenever I need to, if I need to work with him in any way, and he will reveal things to me in my dreamscape. You don't always need the help of mugwort or like a poppet to do this, obviously, but if you are having a harder time, then I would really recommend this, okay? All right, so this is what the passage for mugwort says. The unassuming mugwort is an herb of many uses, including protection, consecration, uncovering memory, enhancing dreams, and guidance. As its scientific name hints at, mugwort is associated with the goddess Diana and women's mysteries. Okay, that's weird. Basically the same energy, but it's just... okay, never mind. Moving forward. It has a reputation for being a wayfinder and a gateway to extrasensory perception, which is why it's used in charms to protect travelers of all kinds. Okay, so this might be a sign for you guys. I was talking about that mugwort poppet earlier, so maybe make a talisman with it, okay, and use it for protection. It also says that mugwort helps the dying and deceased find their way as they cross over to the next state of being. The messages from this card are: consort with mugwort to open the door to experiencing visionary dreams, but take care to be respectful or you may get more than you bargained for. It also says, do not turn up your nose at the ordinary and commonplace. Just because something is readily available doesn't mean it's less valuable or effective than more difficult to acquire or expensive things. Everyday witchcraft is sourced from what is at our fingertips. And last but not least, it says, you may feel like you have lost your way or are stuck in a rut. Look to mugwort for guidance to illuminate the path before you and show you new opportunities. Okay, this page number is number 71. So Chariot energy and the Magician, that is wonderful energy to harness. Okay, so keep going, don't give up on yourselves, and trust that you will find your way when it is time. I am going to leave it there for today. I hope you guys have a wonderful day or night, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.